Hi everybody, welcome back once again to the Eastfield Gunnery YouTube channel with me, Matthew Morgan. If you do enjoy our videos, do give us a like, do subscribe to the channel because we do appreciate your support. This video once again is proudly sponsored by the British Shooting Show, the largest shooting event in the British shooting calendar. We had a fantastic time at the show this year, so thank you to everyone that came onto the stand, had a chat, had a bit of a laugh, or purchased a gun from us. We're looking forward to next year already. So on to today's review. Now, we have done quite a few Beretta DT11s here on this channel. We've looked at the DT11 Gold, which was a commemorative edition. We've looked at the DT11L, and we've done those comparison videos between the new kid on the block, the SL2, and the award-winning, world-beating DT11 as we sit here today. Now, it was at the British Shooting Show that I got my inspiration for this particular video. The GMK stand was absolutely fantastic. They really ramped it up this year. They had a fantastic array of DT11s on display, and I noticed a gun we hadn't yet looked at, and because of what it marks and how special it is, I'm going to show it to you today. So if you cast your mind back to last summer when it wasn't raining, and of course the Paris Olympics, we look at the Olympic disciplines of clay shooting in those circumstances. We look at the Olympic ski, we look at the double trap, we look at the Olympic trap, and Beretta actually won, I think it was 14 out of 15 medals that were on offer during those Olympics. A fantastic achievement, and as ever, the DT11 was at the forefront of those successes. So what Beretta have done is to commemorate that fantastic achievement of all those Olympic shooters, all those athletes, is they have launched a limited edition DT11, and it's called the Pyramide, or Pyramide if you're Italian. Beretta have produced only 300 of these guns worldwide, and that is across the full range of the sporting, the trap and the skeet specification. Being England, being huge sporting fans, the gun we're going to look at today is a sporter. So let's get into it. Here is the gun in question. Like I said, a limited edition, only 300 pieces. Now, I believe a little bit like the DT11 Gold video, if you haven't watched that, do check it out. This whole purpose of this gun was to commemorate the success in the Paris Olympics, but now Beretta have gone one step further, and they're saying it's also to commemorate the success of the DT11 since its launch 14 years ago, which of course takes us back to 2011. We didn't actually get the DT11 in this country till I remember sort of springtime 2012. So starting with the action, you will notice we haven't got that blue Azuri line that was very famous on the DT11, makes it instantly recognizable. What we've got is we have got the Nistan finish, but we've got this geometric 3D design of these lots of little, technically I suppose they're pyramids on top of each other. Now Beretta have managed to produce this with the help of their 5-axis laser Megatron machine. I really like it. I think it's a real modern feel to the gun, not to the level of kind of the SL2 where we're talking about McLaren, but it's a bit up from the standard DT11, makes it stand out, certainly a nice contrast of the different laser engraving when it catches different types of light. So from one point of view, it looks like a Battenberg, and then you turn it around and it looks just like a polished action again. Now, what we've also got the DT11 logo, the famous DT11 logo, and of course, they actually refer to this as a swoosh, or I'm pretty certain someone else might own that copyright, a famous manufacturer that rhymes with bike. But the swoosh on the side of the action as well, all done in this same finish. So it gives this a very kind of sleek appearance without that kind of blue in-your-face stuff. If we move on to the underside of the action, we have got the traditional polished shoulders like you get on all the DT11s, the Ls, the double E, double Ls. Obviously not the black edition because it's black. We've got the continuation of the Pyramid laser 5-axis mega engraving, and underneath where it says DT11 we have got Pyramide in this slightly different font, which I think is really, really smart. It's kind of a double font, nicely outlined, cut out letters. It was almost like it was done with a stencil and a craft knife. I really like that. Then we've got a matte Nistan finished trigger guard. We have got a signature on the bottom of here, just where the trigger group sits in. And again, that will be something to do with the laser engraving studio that Beretta has incorporated to produce this design. Whilst we're on the trigger, obviously it is detachable. It's one of the biggest rabbits in the hat that Beretta have got with the DT11 because it gives the shooter that unrivaled reliability, durability, and of course safety. So if you don't know how to take the trigger out of your DT11, watch carefully. Easiest way to do it is have the gun closed. You have the safety catch stroke selector, push the safety all the way forward, open the barrels 90 degrees, you'll hear a click and it will drop out, hey presto. To return it, basically you reverse the process, you put the trigger straight back in, simple as you like. On the top of the action, we have gone anti-glare again. Remember, the SL2 is very much an anti-glare product these days. They've got anti-glare, I think, on the 688. According to Beretta, these are micro pyramids, which is where you find micro Tutankhamons and micro camels. And it's all about, once again, reducing the glare and making that seamless link between the shooter and the target. Nistan top lever, nice big chunky paddle for ease of operation. PYR, which is pyramid, of course, on the serial number. This is number 060, which is 60. These are all individual numbers from 1 to 300. Then you've got that nice big positive chunky selector switch that we're all very familiar with on the DT11. And to finish off, we've got a black cross bolt, again, like you would get on a standard DT11 sporting trap or skeet gun. Talking about the bolt, obviously, for those that don't know, this is a gun that has the SO lockup, originally from the kind of the SO5 and the ASE, etc. Then went to the DT10, and of course, now the DT11. Bit of boring trivia for you. Onto the barrels. This is a 32-inch sporting version. They are also available in 30-inch boarder, 30-inch trap, and I believe 29-inch skeet. Again, that kind of says that this is a gun that's very much aimed at top-level athletes, the skeet version and the trap version, whereas, of course, we don't have an Olympic discipline of sporting, but it's still a very, very popular discipline of close shooting across the globe. So we've got Stelium Pro barrels. Stelium Pro is, of course, the length of the forcing cone in the barrels. These are 480 millimeters long, which is a mammoth forcing cone, which, of course, gives you that ultimate in reduced felt recoil when you're firing the shotgun. 3-inch chambers, HP steel shot, as you would expect. Sporting on the side, and the standard file cut ribbers you will find on any sporting DT11, which is 10 by 8, no centre bead, with a white foresight bead, and of course ventilated barrels throughout. We take the barrels off. You'll see here we've got a removed portion in the centre rib, which will all be to do with the balance and the weighting of the shotgun. We look on here, the barrel weight itself is actually 1540, which is pretty much spot on, in my opinion, for a 32-inch sporting gun. Engine turning, as we would expect on a DT11, and they are 18.6 tapered board with Optima HP chokes. This gun has got extended Optima HP chokes, but as with all guns, there's always the option to change them out for flush ones if you prefer. Now, I know we've covered a lot of the DT11s on this channel. One of the guns we haven't looked at is the DT11 Black Edition, where, of course, with that model, you have a carbon fibre rib, which reduces the weight, and then you can add barrel weights accordingly to get that weight exactly where you want it. Those weights aren't available with the standard range of DT11s, but if you do want to put them on, they can be fitted. Whilst we've got the gun apart, we'll have a look at the Forend. Now, if you watch the channel, you've seen the other DT11 reviews, or you're a DT11 user, you will know there are 3 options for the Forend on that gun, and they are thus. We have got the London or rounded Forend, the Schnabel, which of course is like the one with the tulip with the lip on the front, and of course my favourite, the beaver tail. Let's not forget though that the beaver tail has got pretty much identical dimensions to the London. It's just got the groove like a beaver's tail. This particular gun has got the London Forend on. I would imagine that because worldwide this is probably the most popular pattern of DT11 Forend that Beretta manufacture, is why we've got it here. We've got a Nistan finish Forend catch, Forend lever, standard kind of this rounded curvy checkering. The actual wood on this gun is, of course, a class 3, which is what you would normally get. I do believe though that because this is a limited edition that Beretta are very, very proud of, all the wood for these 300 guns has been hand selected, and you'll see that now. So look at that. Moving on to the stock itself, that, in my opinion, far eclipses any class 3 piece of wood I've ever seen on a Beretta. It is much, much nicer. It's a beautifully figured piece of, I would assume, Turkish walnut. The colours in this are absolutely sensational. It's quite unusual as well because it's quite dark. Many of the modern Berettas tend to come out a little bit lighter in colour. So if you do like dark wood, this might be an option for you. If I turn it over, it's even better on the other side. Again, we've got the continuation of these odd little light bits, but primarily these really, really dark kind of fiddleback tiger stripes. It is absolutely sensational. And also, I should mention, this has got a factory adjustable cone, which is the BFAST system. Really, really simple to use, a good system. It gives you quite a lot of height. You've got the spacers as well. And to finish off the BFAST theme, we have the BFAST stock weights that are in this gun, and of course the microcore recoil pad. Checkering, same as the Forend. We've got the curly bits with the points at the top. That's a technical specification I've created. And on the back, of course, we've got the famous diamond just at the back of the selector. Palm swell, quite subtle on these. It's not like the early DT11s. That's one of the things where I think this gun is massively evolved. Early DT11s, palm swell like a flipping house brick. We've come a long way. This is very subtle, a bit more like a DT10 palm swell, which tends to be preferred by the majority of shooters. Obviously, if you do get a trap gun, you will have a slightly tighter radius in the pistol grip, and you will have a more full palm swell as well. The finish on this wood is Beretta's standard kind of semi-satin matte finish oil. Obviously, there are options should you wish to have one of these with a custom stock to have a much shinier finish, the true oil. We also do a very, very, very flat one with no shine at all. So lots of options there. Length of pull, what we've got here, we've got a 28mm microcore pad. Remember from previous videos, you can put spacers, different pads, whatever you want. If we go from the basic stock length with a 18mm recoil pad, it's 14 5/8, I think 370mm to as long as you want. Just remember though, if you do increase the stock length, you will by proxy make it lower in the comb, but that's okay with this because you can just pop it up. So we talked about these B-fast weights that go in the stock, which of course come with every single Beretta DT11 ever manufactured, so you can balance it accordingly to your shooting requirements. But what does the gun actually weigh? Like I said, we've got a 32-inch bore. Just to recap, 15 40-gram barrels, which is a real sweet spot. The gun itself, £8.11, and these guns, as I've been to the factory many times, are all factory balanced. So before we move on to the box, one of the things I don't really talk about too often is trigger pulls. Now, the trigger pulls on the DT11 are one of the things that has made it so successful. They are so responsive, they are so crisp. I don't know what the exact weight is. I would imagine they're somewhere about the kind of 4-pound mark, but sensational trigger pulls, which is kind of one of the reasons this gun is so successful and so popular. Right, onto the box. Now, we have seen a box like this before. It was the DT11 Gold, which was a gun that was kind of to commemorate the 2020 Olympics, although things went slightly different in terms of what actually happened by the time the gun came to market. Same box, so they obviously bought a load of these from shinyboxes.com. So inside, this is the 3-lock one because it's a 32-inch gun, standard DT11 case. We've got this enormous Beretta, some call it the Trident, some people don't, logo on the top of the box. And inside, we have got the black suited velour, which is a little bit like, well, it's exactly the same as the DT11 box, and it's blue. Inside the little pyramid flap, we have got the usual. We have got the Beretta Skeet Vest badge. We have got the instructions for the firearms case, so how to lock it your mother-in-law. We've got a barrel sticker, and of course, everything's done online these days, so you've got a QR code, which is all related to the ownership manual. Plastic snap caps, I've said this before, we should really have some slightly better quality ones. Beretta, take note, but snap caps are snap caps at the end of the day. Although I would say with a gun of this quality, you probably never need to use any snap caps. So here we have got the obligatory spares kit. We've got the adjustable comb Allen key for the B-fast system. We've got one additional B-fast weight, because actually a couple in the gun. Standard weight of this gun, don't think I actually said that, was £8.11. I think it's currently about £8.14 with the weights that are fitted to the stock, because I was trying to set it up kind of for myself. Spare beads, spare firing pins and springs, and of course the trigger screwdriver adjustment tool thingy-mabob. Finish off, Optima chokes, choke key, and of course Beretta Olio. It's a technical term for oil in Italy. We've got cylinder, ski and quarter, 1/2 and 3/4 in the gun. If you haven't seen the choke video, do check that out, lots of information in there. And just to finish off, we've got the standard recoil pad, which is what I talked about when we talked about the wood and the pad, etc., which is 370mm when in situ. And of course, it wouldn't be a Beretta without a set of Beretta Willy Wonka pajamas. So that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the fabulous new limited edition Beretta DT11 Pyramide. Really excited to show it to you. I thought it's a gun that is so special. Chances are we might not see another one, so I had to seize the moment and get it as soon as I could. If you've got any question about this particular gun, do contact me directly. Details are on the screen. Don't forget to check out the website. If you want to know more about DT11, having one custom fitted at the factory, get in touch because we can help you with that. This video is once again proudly sponsored by the British Shooting Show, the largest event in the British shooting calendar. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the channel, please do that because we do appreciate your support. And from me, Matthew Morgan, the DT11 Pyramide, the micro pyramids, the micro Tutankhamons and the micro scorpions. I'll see you next time.